the Kerberlift entering ops, and Dr. Braxton, you are leaving the infirmary and heading to presumably a turbolift to head to ops.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything you want to do on the way there, or are you just heading straight there with your report?
He is heading straight there with his report. He likes to make sure to go and hand his report in
Okay.
before doing anything else.
All right. So, Captain Strong, you get to ops. Everything is, um, you know, going as you would assume it would, like a well-oiled machine. All of the officers on the deck are, doing their jobs. One of the
Right.
lieutenants basically is like captain on deck, and everyone snaps to attention. And I'll let you carry it from there.
All the reports are in, sir.
The lieutenant looks over to you and says, "Right now, we're still waiting for the medical report, Captain."
All right. Uh, please send the medical report to my ready room.
Yes, sir. And he goes back to his duties. You head to the ready room, and a few minutes later, Braxton enters operations.
He looks around and he he asks, "Is the captain in his ready room?"
The lieutenant just nods, says, "Yes, doctor."
Thank you. He heads over to the ready room
Okay.
and presses the button.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Enter.
He enters the medical report.
Ah, thank you, thank you. Um, anything strange or anomalous that I should be worried about?
No, everything's running like a good oil machine right now.
All right. Thank you for your report. I look forward to maybe having lunch with you today, if that would be all right.
Yeah, I'm just finishing up my shift right now. I'll be available most of the day anyway.
All right. I will see you in 10 forward.
Okay, see you in 10 forward. He goes down, he leaves the office to let you think, give you some time to think. He goes
Yeah.
down to, um, he makes sure to clock off to, and then go down to 10 forward for a little bit
All right.
before going to,
As soon as you
yeah.
leave, Captain Strong, you get a beep at your console on the desk. It looks like it's a priority one from Starfleet Command.
I wave my hand over the console and say, accept.
The face of a kind of middle-aged woman appears on screen. I'm gonna put it on roll 20 so y'all can see what she looks like. Um, she has kind of a severe, no nonsense face. Her hair is pulled back into a bun on top of her head, which is kind of graying a little. And she gives you kind of like a stern look, and she says, "Captain, I am Captain Nora Sadie. Soon to be Rear Admiral, I hope, but for now I am a captain. I have been ordered to come to your station and investigate possible saboteurs or um, possible ways for infiltration. I will be effectively assuming command of your starbase."
I see. And can I have the command codes, please?
She types in her command codes. They go through, no problem. They come back as Nora Sadie. Basically, she's kind of notorious for being somebody who kind of gets assigned to star bases or planets and then like roots out any corruption or any criminal activities or any espionage from you know outside sources. And so
Right.
far, she's on the fast track to becoming a rear admiral. She's probably, before the year's over, she'll probably be a rear admiral.
Well, I will welcome you, just like I welcome all of my Starfleet family. Thank you for this message, and over and out.
Okay. The screen blinks and you get an itinerary, like a file sent to you from her, basically detailing that she'll be arriving at Starbase G-6 within an hour or two, roughly putting her arrival at the same time as the new crew members that might be showing up soon. Um, is there? Are you heading to the mess hall now to have lunch with Dr. Braxton, or are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm gonna head over to her because since there's new people coming on board, she's got to be up to speed with. I mean, obviously I can send it through a message or whatever, but I'd rather just do that, I suppose.
Okay, so you are going to mess hall, right?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. Um, so actually, before I continue, let me check something. Okay. So Durlock, are you ready for some role play, or are you still busy?
I'm ready.
Okay. So we're gonna change the ambiance just a bit. Um, you are not on that shuttle. Let's see. You're on this shuttle. You're on a small warp-capable shuttle, not going too fast, low warp, heading towards Starbase G6. There are two individuals with you. One is a Lieutenant Greta Vanderweg. She is a science officer similar to yourself. The other is a security officer who's going to be the new security chief. Um, I need to make a character for him, but for now he's just this silhouette on the screen. Um, and his name is Ed Steele. Let me see what his rank is. Lieutenant Commander Ed Steele. Um, you've probably been at Warp now for close to 20 hours. Heading from like a nearby. Let me check real quick to see if I wrote down a nearby planet that you guys would be coming from. Nope. But you probably are coming from a nearby starbase or planet heading towards starbase G6, or maybe even coming from a ship. Um, is your character Arjun particularly chatty with his crew members, or is he content to just sit there and relax and wait for the shuttle to arrive?
He would probably be as chatty as the people around him are.
Okay. So Steele is piloting the ship, and he's not, unless someone directly speaks to him, he doesn't really say anything. He's a male human, probably in his late 30s. Very no nonsense. And then you have Greta Vanderweg, a female human who is kind of a bit more. She's not like super cheerful, you know what I mean? Like she's not annoyingly cheerful, but she is pleasant to be around, and you could tell as she's looking at you, she hasn't really met a Trill before, and she says after 20 hours of having small talk with you, she probably gets up the courage and says, by the way, what's your character's rank, Commander?
That's not what I intended. I intended it to be Lieutenant Commander. I don't know why it says that.
That's fine. She looks at you and she says, Lieutenant Commander, I meant to ask you, pardon me if I'm being forward, but are you joined or no?
No, I guess you could say I am a joining reject.
Ah, so the commission didn't feel that you were worthy, is that right?
They didn't give a precise reason. Maybe compatibility issues. Who knows?
I see. Yes, I can understand how you must feel. I was studying medicine for some time, um, and it was only once I realized that my fellow medical students didn't take me seriously that I transferred over to the science department. Um, but hey, I did get to work a little bit on the newly commissioned Enterprise D Galaxy class, I believe. It should be commissioned uh, early next year, but I'm looking forward to hearing about their adventures.
I heard the new Galaxy class is quite a ship.
Indeed. Um, Suddenly up front, you hear some beeping, and Lieutenant Commander Steele looks over his shoulder to the two of you and says, "If you guys are done chatting, we've got an issue up here. Can you come to the cockpit, please?"
Understood.
So you guys get to the cockpit, and you can clearly see, just looking at the scanner on the console, that yeah, you guys are like less than an hour away from the starbase, but probably almost equally as far away. Maybe, you know, if the starbase is directly in front of you, an hour, then an hour to port, which is, I believe, left. There is a ship sending out what you believe to be a distress call. Um, the Lieutenant Commander Steele kind of just sighs and he says, "Oh, we don't have time for this. We need to get to the base. I don't think I could take another hour or 2 hours on this cramped shuttle." Greta, Lieutenant Vanderweg just kind of looks to you to see if you react to what he said or not.
Um, uh, I'd say we're obligated to help if we can.
Commander Steele just nods. You're right, of course. All right, we'll we'll send a call back to letting them know that we're on our way. Um, if you could do that, and he kind of gestures to you, Arjun, to send that message. If you want to roll a control and engineering difficulty, I'm gonna say difficulty 0 because it's not too hard to just send a message saying, "Hey, we're coming."
You wanted me to roll?
You don't have to. I can just go on past it. It's up to you.
I'll roll. What did you want me to roll? I thought you were talking to. I don't remember my character's name.
Okay. So if you want to, just roll control and engineering difficulty 0. This will just give you guys some momentum to send the message. Nice. You guys got 2 momentum now. And then, of course, you get a bounce back message saying a message received. And then I'm going to have. As you guys are heading in that direction, I'm going to jump back to Starbase.
Mark this day on the calendar. My first roll was a good one.
Yep. I'll also go ahead and tell you for free, it is an old, like, original series style Vulcan civilian shuttle. So this thing is like over 100 years old, and yeah. So, Captain Strong, you arrive at the mess hall. and you find Braxton is there waiting for you, I suppose. I'll let you guys go on with the roleplay if you want.
He's sitting there eating, munching away, while drinking.
I come up to the barkeep and say, a light beer, light fizz, warm. And I go over to the table. I say, Braxton, there are some people coming. What I've been just told is that they're probably going to be a little bit late, but I wanted you to have their medical files before anybody else because you are my chief medical officer. And it's nice to see you as I sit down.
Nice to see you. And are they sending their medical files over?
No, I transferred my documents to your data pad. You would have your data pad probably.
Yeah, he double taps it. Oh, I do. He looks over who they are and who are they?
You would see it says Admiral or Captain Nora Sadi, and it looks like she is a female admiral in Starfleet, or she's on the verge of becoming an admiral, and she is basically kind of like a troubleshooter that goes into different places and roots out corruption and makes sure that everyone is on the up and up and there's nobody trying to infiltrate. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's basically who she is. As far as medical, there's nothing medically wrong with her.
I wish I had her in my timeline, because she would have been a perfect admiral to troubleshoot a lot of the issues in my time.
Be that as it may, but she is coming here, and we need to know about all of everything before anything happens. You know, I'm always fearful of what will become. You've never said anything about the future. I don't blame you. I know the rules, but seems like this might be something weird.
Well, if you're concerned, if there's any concerns about infiltration, I could run a few things, a few medical, get everyone to do an update medical scan, like DNA and everything on this station.
That sounds real good. So keep me informed, keep me posted at all times. Anything that you find, please bring it to the front desk.
Yeah, because there's some things I can actually pick up on if there's odd things in the because if people have been here for a while and they've been on shore leave and stuff like that, there can be some things that are being overmissed.
Any discrepancies, any non-compliance with medical procedures, I want to know about it.
Yep. I'll get them to do an update medical because some of them may need it.
Definitely. Keep me informed. And thank you for joining me for lunch. My beer should arrive pretty soon.
I'm always glad to join you for lunch, Captain. Are we getting a new science officer yet?
Oh, I hope so.
Hopefully, and we need a new security officer since the last one got killed.
Yeah, I know. We've got these ensigns running amok, and it's wearing thin my patience for sure.
Yeah. But whenever they come, I'll be happy to get them to start running drills with the. I'll do medical the medical so they can get onto duty quicker.
Good. But don't miss anything, please, and keep me informed. because
Oh,
we have no idea. We don't want to bring any unnecessary, bugs or any, you know, people that are against us right now. You
yeah,
know?
and that's a quicker way to actually flush out spies and that. If they want to alter their face, we can actually run their DNA.
Also, there was a distress call that I picked up. Um, this might be something that you need to be aware of. We might expect casualties, or we might send an away team, depending on the circumstance, of course. But I would like you to be the head of the medical team. I'm probably going to go along too.
Yeah, we can we can go whenever you're ready, Captain.
All right, I'm looking for the right proper channels to, if they need help, they'll ask for it for sure, and we'll be more than obliged to help our teammates and our families out.
I'm glad. I'm really glad that I get to spend more time working in the medical.
I'm glad you become accustomed to this station. I,
Yeah,
on the other hand, I feel like I've been set here just to be punished because of my failings. But hey, at least I'm, the captain of this wonderful space station. I think I need to go out sometime. Maybe, hopefully, eventually.
they sent me here because I'm from the future and they want to hide me away from somewhere. Give me at least some breathing room.
I know. I know. But if you know anything about this, please, if there's anything that would help us, please do it. I don't
Yeah,
want to die yet. I want to be a captain of a vessel one day. One day. That day
yeah.
might be very far and few in between, but one day.
We will need to get good captains out in the field eventually.
Ah, thank you. I hope I'm a good captain at one point.
Hmm.
So your drink finally arrives, and you as you're sitting there sipping it and chatting away, um, you get a message from ops saying that the admiral will be arriving in 20 minutes. And then I'll let you decide what you want to do about that. And I'm gonna jump back over to Durlock on the shuttle. Um, you're
All right.
approaching. Sorry, go ahead.
Chief Medical Officer, would you please come with me to the command center?
Oh yeah, I will because she needs to do her checking medical assessment.
Yep.
She can't fly by that.
All right, so you guys are
Go ahead.
heading to the command center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Braxton's making sure he's bringing the right tools to bring. What?
All right. Back on the shuttle, you guys are approaching this old shuttle, this old Vulcan shuttle. It doesn't appear to be too badly damaged. I mean, it looks like it's got the typical kind of wear and tear of an old ass shuttle. Um, and after approaching it, the security officer, Lieutenant Commander Steele, glances down at the console as it beeps again, and he says, "We're getting a message. Do you want to put it up?" He kind of glances to uh, Durlock's character, and if you want to put it up on screen, that'll be another difficulty 0 roll, and it'll be control engineering again.
All right.
Trying to give you guys momentum for no reason, definitely. Definitely not, because there might be some hidden dangers around every corner. Oh wow, so you guys are up to 4 momentum.
I think my roll 20 is broken.
Yeah, I know what it is. It doesn't recognize you. It thinks you're somebody else.
I know, right?
My dice are broken.
All right, so on screen, I will move the picture of the person that appears. It looks like to be a Vulcan woman, and she says, "Greetings, Starfleet officers. I am Dized- Dizedra, or Dizedra. I'll go with Dizedra. I am. I apologize for my method of contact. Um, I require assistance. My spacecraft's life support is failing, and its engines will be malfunctioning soon. Communication is moments away from, and then that's where her communications kind of goes static, and then it dies. Um,
I would finish your sentence. Away.
do you want to roll any scans?
Yeah, I'm gonna scan the ship.
Okay, make a. And this is a short range scan, like detailed scan, so it's going to be a control. Well, no, it's going to be a reason and sensors. Or no, reason and science, and the difficulty is just going to be 1, and I'll roll for the ship to assist. Alright, so you got your 1, and the sensors are scanning it, and it's coming back as a old Vulcan shuttle, as you might expect, with 1 Romulan occupant.
All right. Can we get a transporter lock?
You can. I'll say you. I'll just include that with the scan. You basically are able to get. Also, since you are a science officer, you do have 1 free question that you can ask the GM if you would like to know any further information.
Are there any other failures aside from life support?
Yeah, there's a couple other systems that seem to be failing, but it doesn't seem to be caused by any particular like damage to the ship. It looks more like a software issue rather than
Uh,
hardware.
and can I tell from the scans how long they have before their situation becomes dangerous?
Um, no, I don't think you would be able to.
Alrighty. Well, since they asked for help and their life support's imminently failing, I'm gonna transport them on to the ship until we can figure out what to do.
All right. That'll be control and engineering. Difficulty is 2. I will have the shuttle assist.
With difficulty 2, I want to buy 1 dice.
Okay. So you guys are to, I believe, 3 momentum now.
Yep.
I gotta let the cat out. I'll be right back. Annie, that's. What are you doing? Go out in the cold like an idiot? Okay, bye. Get froze like a
You can
popsicle.
spend you can spend 2 momentum to get rid of that complication if you want.
Yeah, it's a good idea considering I'm trying to transport people. A complication right now would be bad.
Okay, and I will, as your character is kind of manipulating the controls, I'll have um, Lieutenant Greta Vanderweg, also a science officer, kind of attempt to assist.
And there we go. My roll 20 figured out who I am.
Oh well, yeah. She managed to kind of walk up next to you, tap a few buttons on the console, and in the back of the craft appears Dizedra or Dizedra, um, and she doesn't appear armed. She just appears to be wearing like a normal kind of close-fitting, like kind of uniform. But it, it's not a uniform you recognize. It might be something that somebody kind of threw together just to or it could just be some generic outfit that people wear for whatever reason, but you don't recognize it. It is close fitting, possibly because maybe she was in an EV suit or something earlier, but that's what she looks like, and she's just standing there, and she just says, "I thank you for your hospitality."
Are you hurt?
No, I am not. I request audience with the nearest command level officer.
Understood. I would like to take a look at your ship and see if we can't repair it. If we can't, we'll take you to the ship we're supposed to rendezvous with.
I understand. However, I do not think that you will be able to repair the shuttle. It has sustained intensive um, software viral issues from an enemy party.
Does it pose any threat to us? We can tow it with a tractor beam.
I don't believe it poses a risk to the shuttle as long as you use a tractor beam. If you try to beam over there or link the two ships up together electronically, then it may pose an issue. But a tractor beam should be fine.
Understood. Do I have your permission to run one more scan just to make sure a tractor beam wouldn't be a threat?
Absolutely. She kind of sits down unless you have her do something else. She just sits down in the back. And if you want to roll that scan, you can make a Reason and Science difficulty 1 roll. I'll have the ship assist. Oh wow. It forgot who you are all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know, right? It must be having early onset Alzheimer's.
Alright, so
Yes, it is. Durlock.
alright, so you guys are you run the scan, and yeah, like she said, as long as you're just locking on with a tractor beam, it's fine. If you try to hook your computer up to its navigation system or something, then it might be an issue, but just the tractor beam is fine.
Okay, I'll initiate the tractor beam and set a course.
Okay. I won't have you guys roll for that. I'll just say that you get the ship, and you head out. Back on the Starbase. You guys are in ops, and the communications officer in ops looks over to the captain and says, "The Admiral's shuttle has arrived, sir. Requesting docking procedure clearance." You there, Tully? Did Tully get disconnected?
No, I'm here. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
He says the Admiral's shuttle is requesting clearance to dock.
Clearance granted. I will meet her at the docking bay.
Okay.
And yes, I'll be coming, Captain.
Okay, so you're both
Thank you.
going.
Yeah,
All right. So
he wants to make sure.
you guys leave operations as the shuttle is docked. By the time you get to the docking bay, the doors to the airlock's already open. Admiral Sadie, I will go ahead and move her picture once again to the screen, is standing there with 2 aides, it appears to be. Oh, and there was something that I wanted to try, which is the momentum thing that someone suggested. So I'm gonna. How many do we have? 3? Or how many do y'all have?
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
3.
So that. Let's see if this works. And basically, if you want to use momentum, just delete it. Everyone should be able to delete it, I think. If not, let me know. But yeah, basically, you You get there, she's waiting for you, and she says, Captain Strong, and she extends a hand to shake Captain Strong's hand.
Nice to meet you. I extend my hand as well.
I apologize for all of this. I am sure it may seem very inefficient and uncomfortable to have to sit along the side as another commanding officer comes in and kind of wrecks shop, so to speak. But my goal is only to make Starfleet and the Federation more efficient and to root out any corruption and keep the sanctity of the Federation.
Well, I can assure you, you have my office and all of everybody's data pads, as according to your specifications on my notepad.
Very well. She looks over to Dr. Braxton and says, I did not know that we needed a doctor for this.
Per procedure, I have. Per procedure, I need to do I need to do a medial scan of anyone who's coming into the station, Captain.
I understand. In that case, I will head to the infirmary to undergo a physical. And she turns back to Captain Strong and she says, I would like you to get your security chief and meet me in ops.
Agreed. Just the formalities of this is we recently had an outbreak of whooping cough, and we have to take certain precautions so, a Klingon wouldn't have to bleed out of his eyeballs, kind of deal.
That is more than understandable. Procedure is procedure. And then she just kind of turns and follows Dr. Braxton to the infirmary.
He just wants to make sure she's healthy and she.
Okay. Roll reason or insight in medicine. Difficulty is going to be scaled, so the more successes you get, the better the scan results will be, basically. You need at least one.
So I'm gonna your sign. I'm gonna use one momentum.
Okay. See if you can delete one of those off the Roll20 page.
I can't.
Okay. Go ahead and just keep track of it like you've been doing, and I'll try to figure this out.
Yep.
Controlled by all players.
Yes, sir.
Alright, see if you can delete one now.
Yep.
Okay, good. And how many? You got two, so yep. See if you... you should be able to see the momentum character sheet, right? See if you can pull a token from the momentum character sheet to the board. Okay, good.
Yep.
So just do it that way from now on. Now, actually, let's delete that because you have two successes. And don't forget, you can use momentum to ask questions. But as far as you're concerned, she's in perfect health. She is who she says she is. And her personnel file and medical profile match everything that you're getting from the scan.
I like double checking everything, Captain. It's just I have good reasons.
That's understandable.
Because I'm from the future.
She gives you a strange look, and she says, well, you didn't have to tell me that.
Well, everyone knows that I'm from the future, Captain. And there's a few things that I know how to pick up on if there's certain infiltrators or certain like that. Some people like
I
that.
see. Oh, maybe I'll poach you from this location and you can help me in my mission. She kind of says, you get the feeling she's not joking, but she says it in a way that suggests she is joking, even though she's not.
If we had an admiral like you in our timeline, I would have been happy to been able to work with you.
All right, so um, we'll say the shuttle is now approaching the starbase. You've got the other shuttle, the Vulcan shuttle, in tow, and a couple of other like kind of worker bees come out to take the shuttle, the Vulcan shuttle, and take it to like a separate docking area to be looked at and investigated and worked on and all that good stuff to kind of find out what's going on with it. Lieutenant Commander Steele turns to Vanderweg and Durlock's character Arjun Tehran and says, "All right, I'm gonna take Dizedra here, and you two just report to ops. I'll take her directly to the commanding officer to see what he wants to do with her."
Understood.
All right. So, all right, go ahead.
And Braxton will be showing the captain to the ops, so she doesn't get lost.
All right. I gotta check something real quick. Let me see. There we go. So I'm gonna move you to an ops map, or not an ops map, but a Starbase map. Nora Sadie is there. Who's the other one? Oh yeah, Commander Strong is there, or Captain Strong, and Braxton is there now. So you take her to the ops, and Captain Strong, you get a message over your comm badge. This is Commander Steele to Captain Strong.
Go ahead, Steele.
It's your new security chief. I've already got a job here. We rescued a Vulcan from a old Vulcan ship out in deep space, and she requested talking to the nearest command level officer. I was gonna put her in a conference room to let you talk to her, but I can bring her to wherever you're located if you'd prefer.
No, we'll go through the proper channels. Meet me in the docking bay. Captain Strong out.
Okay. So, Captain. Sorry, go ahead, Braxton.
Braxton just goes, shows the tricorder, please.
Of course you're going to join me. I wouldn't have it any other way.
The Captain Sadie says, "Well, hold on now. That's not exactly the most efficient use of time. Let's, I requested meeting here because we have some work to get started, and this supposed rescue is not really a priority now, is it?"
When it's an emergency rescue, yes, it is a priority. Due to Federation Law 391, always help the ones that are injured.
Well, this supposed Vulcan seems to be okay now. I'm sure there's any number of Starfleet officers that can help her.
I'm sorry, but if you need my time, I will be guiding the injured to the safety of Federation space.
She looks over to Braxton to see what his opinion on the matter is.
Captain, it's always good to double check people who somewhat requesting to see a command level person, because you don't know who they are until you figure out what race they are. They may say they're Vulcan, but they could be somebody else, something else.
Exactly.
See?
Captain Sadie thinks about this for a moment and says, "You're right. We'll deal with this first. I want to be there, and then we can go on about our business." And then, without saying another word, she just kind of turns on her heel and walks out the door towards the turbo lift.
Yeah, Braxton's from that timeline that he's highly suspicious of anyone who pops
Yeah,
out of nowhere,
yeah. All right, so
and he's gonna check DNA.
you guys go with her to the docking ring.
Of course. At least I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
All right, let me zoom out a bit. I gotta figure out where everyone is. That's tactical. That's engineering. We'll just say it's in the engineering section. All right, so you guys arrive, and Lieutenant Commander Steele is there waiting with Vulcan. Um, what do you guys want to do? Well, Sadie first tells the doctor to run a scan on her, and she at
Yeah,
when you
he's
guys approach, the Vulcan immediately just starts talking. She says, "Captains, I request an audience with just you."
he's gonna continue his scan.
Okay, go ahead and make a reason medicine. Difficulty is scaled again, but you have to get at least one.
He want. Can I get one momentum?
Yep,
Use one momentum.
sure. Oh wow. So you get well, the max difficulty was 3. Yeah, you detect that she's not a Vulcan, she's a Romulan, and she has. Let me just look at my notes real quick. Um, yeah, she doesn't have anything on her, no weapons, nothing like that. But she is definitely a Romulan, and she seems to be in good health. She doesn't seem to be in any physical danger, like dehydration or malnutrition or anything like that. But she definitely is Romulan.
He goes, "Stop playing games."
She looks over to Braxton and says, "I am not here to speak to a mere medical intern. I am here to speak to a command level officer."
I am the command level officer on this ship. Thank you for meeting me. However, I want my chief medical officer to look you over. There's reasons behind this. We had an outbreak of a whooping cough that made a Klingon very, very sick. And now we're making all contacts a medical contact. So my associate here will continue to scan you and give me all of the details.
He goes, "I know you know who you are." And he hands over the tricorder and says, gives it to both you and the both captains to look over. "I know who you are."
So
Medical scans determined that you are a Romulan. However, you are welcome on the ship, Captain.
Nora Sadie kind of looks between the three of you guys, and then she just glares at the Romulan, and she says, and then she looks over to Lieutenant Commander Steele, and she says, "Take her to the brig. I want no less than 2 guards on her at all times." And then she turns back to the Captain Strong and says, "You welcome her to your station, I. Well, I believe my investigation will have to start from the top then."
We are Starfleet.
We won't be for
That is
much
all I have
longer
to
if
say.
that's how you treat potential enemies.
I don't know that this person is my enemy. They just been brought to me right now.
Well, we are going to find out, aren't we? Um, So does the unless Captain Strong countermands her orders, Lieutenant Commander Steele will take the Romulan to the brig.
Can I? Can I roll for it?
It depends how you want to do it. If you just want to, if you just, you don't have to roll. If you just order him not to, like if you just order him to stand down, it won't be a roll. He'll just stand down because you're his direct superior. But if you're gonna try to convince him against her, like if you're trying to make more of like a charisma check, like trying to basically saying like, listen to me because I know better than she does, then that'll be a roll. So you,
Kind of.
so that, so
Using, I think what he's trying to say is using leadership without using authority.
yeah, you're also trying
Yeah.
to, and I'm assuming you're also trying to do it in a way that the Nora Sadie doesn't just lose her shit. So that
Yeah.
again, that would be a roll.
Respectfully.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then role play how you do it, and then you can roll the dice after.
It's not always the best option to leave all people that are stranded somewhere in the best interest of Starfleet. And you know what? I really disagree with you, but I'm just going to have to let my own fate determine what happens.
Okay. So make a presence in
Ooh, I
command.
got a 5 and a 1.
All right. So that's 3 successes. Nora Sadie is gonna roll to oppose that, obviously. Let's see. Definitely gonna be a. So you have 3 successes. So she is going. You know what? I'm gonna take a threat. Get her another dice and see what she gets. Oh wow. So she only got 2 successes. So she just nods and says, "Very well. Where would you like her to go? Sick bay?"
Yes, under strict supervision, per your request.
All right. The Lieutenant Commander Steele just nods, says, "Aye, sirs," and escorts the young lady to. Well, she's probably not young. She's Romulans are pretty. They have long lifespans. So she's escorted to the infirmary. Um, is
Axton follows her.
Okay, I figured. I was gonna ask that. I was like, is he going to? All right, and
Yeah.
uh, and that's when Sadie turns to Strong and says, "Okay, now we can go to ops and begin our business."
All right. Join me in the turbo lift over here.
All right, she joins you in the turbolift, and I'm gonna jump over to sickbay real quick. So the security chief just is gonna stand by the door while you do your whatever you're doing with the Vulcan slash Romulan. What do you want to do first?
He goes, "You ain't injured in any way.
No, but you will be if you do not take me to a command level officer.
Listen, what year are you from?"
What do you mean? I am from this year, 2363. I have vital
26.
intelligence for your commanding officers. Nothing that you could possibly use here. I need to inform them.
Listen, I know that Romulan and Federation one day will become friends, but I can't give you too much information, but unless you start trusting somebody in the Federation, probably I'm your most likely guy to trust.
Hmm. Roll presence and medicine. See if you can convince her. She's gonna oppose that. She's gonna oppose it with her security stat. And she's
Do we
going
still
to.
have momentum?
I don't remember. I'm trying to keep track of my thing.
Yeah,
I think we have
gonna
like two.
use last momentum. I'm gonna use one momentum. Do we have two momentum?
I thought we had 2 momentum.
I
Yeah, I'll use two momentum. The last two.
Well, I just see one, but who knows? Alright, so you succeed, and she says, very well. But I still cannot tell you what I know, lest it fall into the wrong hands. But I can tell you anything else that you wish to know.
Listen. He shows one of his medals that he got from the future.
That would have been confiscated when you arrived.
Uh,
Well, either that or you
yeah,
have
they
to
would have.
leave it, like, in your quarters. You can't just carry it around with you.
I know. He goes. I'm more trusting to Romulans than most Federation people of this day because the year that I come from, I've learnt to trust Romulans because they aren't. You guys aren't really that bad. You're a great ally to the Federation.
Thank you for the compliment, but that does not change the fact that the intelligence I have cannot be delivered to a mere lieutenant in the medical field.
Just give me something, anything that could easily get me to go up and convince the captains that you.
She says, hand me a data pad.
He hands the data pad to her.
She types something out, and then when she gives it back and you look at it, it is a senator's code. A Romulan
Okay.
senator's code.
He says, "Wait here. I'll go up to the commander." And he runs and says, "Lieutenant Steele, can you watch over her?
Of course, that's my job.
Keep two eyes on her. I mean."
Yes,
And he runs right up to.
that's the only number of eyes I have.
He's gonna run right up to the captain.
Alright, so before you get there, we're going to jump to ops, and Captain Strong, Captain Sadie arrives and finds their new chief science officer, as well as Lieutenant Greta Vanderweg, the assistant science chief, on ops, just conducting basic scientific things that scientific, people do. Um, and of course, as the two captains enter, I'll say Vanderweg says, "Captain on deck," drawing everyone's attention to the two captains. Um, Sadie just ignores her and everyone else and heads to the nearest mission operations console, and she says, "Captain Strong, the first thing we need to do is ensure that the crew manifest of this station matches that of the Starfleet command database." And she just starts talking shop immediately, she doesn't want to waste any time. How does Strong and Arjun Tehran, how do y'all react to seeing the two captains enter like that?
I would
Well,
stand at attention.
Okay.
I would say, please enter your command codes because the sensor readouts won't allow anybody but captains on the ops.
Of course. She presses her captain's code and it comes across as, it works. um, Vanderweg kind of moves over to Arjun Tehran and whispers, "Two captains. That's strange. I didn't know that another captain was going to arrive."
How did you not know? You are the ops?
The science officer looks across opposite you, kind of wide-eyed, like, how did he hear me? And then says, "Sorry, sir," and then gets back to work. The captain, Sadie, looks to Captain Strong and says, "Very well. Now that my identity is verified with your operations system, we need to ensure that our security protocols are up to date." And we'll say that's when the doctor enters, roughly.
Can I
Captain?
join you, Captain?
Are you asking Captain Sadie that?
Yeah.
She says, I hope so. This is your station. And then that's when Braxton enters.
Captain?
Hi, Braxton. Would you join us?
You want to take a look at this?
Ah, thank you.
Have a look at this. I didn't, it came, no one else saw it but me.
Why are you out of breath?
Because this is valuable, valuable, intel. Just take a look at the data pad.
Thank you. Captain, take a look at this with me.
The captain looks over at it and shakes her head and says, well, that's not possible. She's definitely not a Romulan senator. This is some kind of trick.
Let us continue scans. All scans. Internal, external. I want to know everything about this person.
I won't know fully who she is unless I'm granted access to the Romulan database to figure out which person she is in the Romulan Republic
I
uh,
see.
Empire.
Captain, what say you on this subject?
Well, if she's not who she's claiming to be, and if she is just some Romulan assassin or spy, then we've got a big problem on our hands. If she is a Romulan senator, then we have an even bigger problem, potentially a war between us and the Romulans when they figure out that there's a Romulan senator here. Either way, it's not good. I hope she's under guard.
Yes, she is. But I think this may be an opportunity for Starfleet to actually start communications between Romulus and the Federation.
I agree with my chief medical officer. This is absolutely insane. Let us go see this person in the medical quarters, I suppose.
Yeah. Um, if we have a Betazoid or somebody who's telepathic, we can actually set them in the room with us to see if she's telling truth or lie.
Is that a free question or can we roll for it?
If you spend one momentum, well, you don't have a momentum. Hmm,
Can
yeah,
we roll for it then?
yeah. Someone roll a insight or reason and command difficulty 1 to see like where the nearest Betazoid or Vulcan or telepath is on the station.
That would be me.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
Insight or reason, either one's
A
fine.
2 and a 7.
All right, so that's 2 successes. I'm gonna say difficulty 1, so you guys have 1 momentum, and yeah, we'll say that there is one that you can have meet in sick bay, with in within 10 minutes or so.
Good idea, Captain. Captains.
Captain Sadie just nods. Very well, let's go. And um, she looks over to Arjun Tehran and walks over and says, "You are the one who rescued her. Did you have any inclination as to who she was before you brought her here?"
That's a negative.
Very well. But since you were there, she might trust you more than us, so I think you should come with us, Lieutenant Commander.
Understood.
Alright, so do you all head to sickbay?
Yep,
Yes.
I'd follow along behind the captain.
Alright, let me grab your characters, move over to the sickbay. You get there, and she's still sitting on a bunk or on a bio bed. Um, Captain Sadie whispers to Captain Strong, and she said, and the others. She says, "I'll let you take the lead on this one, and I'll sit back and watch and see how she responds."
Captain, she'll probably most likely respond well to you. He wants to speak to somebody who's in command, that'll be you.
Well, thank you. I'm the commanding officer of the Starbase. Welcome here. Please tell me what is the issue.
The Romulans are developing their most powerful ship ever. It is called the Scimitar. It will be ready within 2 years. I have delivered you this information so that you can do something about it.
I see. Chief Medical Officer, please do a scan. I'm going to ask this person some questions. I want to know if this person is telling the truth or blowing smoke in our warp nacelles.
Okay,
and
because
I'll, also, that's when the Betazoid enters. And I'm going to just say, for the sake of plot, that the Betazoid's an empath. So the Betazoid will know if she's lying, but it won't be able to read her mind.
Basically, because Braxton's from the future, would he know about this?
Yeah, he would know that that ship didn't come out till 2370, so why is it coming out so soon now?
Oh shit. Braxton says, he goes, "That's breaking the Prime Directive!"
She just looks at you like you've lost your mind.
Huh. I see.
Someone's interfering with the timeline.
The ship has been under manufacture for several decades. The Romulan says.
There's a reason.
Can I do this? And totally don't let me do it if I can't. I'm going to initiate a lockdown of the entire starbase.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. Out of character, I have to know why, though.
Since my chief medical officer told me that this is a breach of a timeline issue, I want to try to make it so the timeline issue isn't going to affect the crew of the space station, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So do you want to just lock down the infirmary to keep anyone from leaving, or do you want to lock down the whole base to keep anyone from getting out or in, or
the whole
Infirmary.
base?
Okay.
The whole base.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, just tell the computer to issue a lockdown, and then your command code, and then roll presence and command. Difficulty 1.
Captain Strong, this is a priority issue. My command code is Alpha Zeta Beta Reticuli 00259.777. Initiate lockdown. The whole facility. No ins, no outs. Everybody is staying here. Repeat, this is a lockdown.
The computer goes doo-doo, and then responds with lockdown initiated. All personnel, general quarters, all personnel are to return to their stations. No one is to leave or to enter the station. This is a general lockdown. And then another beep happens, and then the computer stops speaking. And the Romulan looks at you like you've lost your mind, and she says, "I am simply trying to give you information so you can act on it. This has nothing to do with the timeline."
Yeah. He grabs both captains over to the other side and he says, "Listen, I'm not supposed to say this, but because this is a Prime Directive thing, that ship is not supposed to be made in the next couple of years. It's not supposed to. I can tell you that now. It's too soon in the timeline." It's like 10. It's supposed to be a bit further along.
Captain, what say you?
She, she knows. Well, the Captain Sadie knows as well as you guys that the Romulan Dizedra is not lying because the Betazoid hasn't, signaled that she's lying. But she does come up to you guys and she says, regardless if this is a timeline issue, this is something that we need to take care of and we need to deal with now.
Yeah.
I have an idea. What ships do we have at our ready?
Besides a few shuttles, none. You'd have to call some in, Captain Sadie says, and that could take hours, maybe even days.
I want ours, and let's acknowledge that we have this thing that we need to deal with.
I know two of the agents who actually processed me through. If we contact, can I contact them to let them know about the timeline?
Funny you say that because both of you get a call from the ops saying, "Sir, we have two agents from the Temporal Bureau of Investigation here to talk to Captain Strong and Dr. Braxton."
Oh, God! Not again! Captain, yeah, these guys are just a fucking pain in the ass. You can take this one from here.
I'll go up with the captain.
Alright, well, Captain Sadie says, we'll just continue investigating and interrogating her, and if we come up with anything else, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys head to Ops to meet the agents.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna. He goes, we might have to go into your office to. I might have to go into more detail about when that ship's supposed to be made, because yeah, it's too early for that ship.
Okay, you guys head back to Ops, and standing there are two men in kind of dark suits, and one of them walks up to you. He's got gray hair and kind of like a smug. Well, they both have smug faces, but he has like a dark blue jacket and kind of gray hair, and he says, I'm Agent Grimm. This is Agent Dark, and he gestures to the guy with the like pale hair, and he says, in all black clothes, of course, and he says, we've got word that you guys might have been, especially you, he kind of gestures to Braxton, are imparting knowledge and information about the future when you guys shouldn't be. That's the information we've got.
I'll blame it on the Romulan senator that. Okay, blame it on the Romulan senator. I won't go into detail, but we might have to go into the captain's ready room and go into lockdown there. No one can go in.
Well, we can talk wherever, but you've breached your protocol. And we need to deal with this. So.
She mentioned about the Saber class. It's not supposed to be ready right now.
They just look at each other confused, and he says, well, the information we have is something that you've said, Braxton, not her, so we, like I said, we can talk about this wherever you want, but it's a conversation that needs to happen regardless.
Yeah, we can go and talk into the ready room.
Alright.
Because I haven't told him what year.
And they kind of look around for wherever this ready room is, and then wait for Captain Strong to lead them to it.
Captain Strong leads them to the room.
Okay. Once you get to the ready room, the white-haired man, the one who looks slightly younger in all black, sits down, and the other man kind of just stands there looking around. Agent Dark, the younger one, says, so we've got numerous complaints about Dr. Braxton here speaking about the future, as well as a few other issues that came up that we won't discuss here at the moment. But suffice it to say, we need you to come back to Earth to Starfleet Command. We'll do some processing, and you're gonna have to resign from Starfleet, Mr. Braxton.
I object to this horrible inquiry that you're saying to us right now. As the captain of this station, I believe we are under lockdown. So that is a 24-hour lockdown. You can question my chief medical officer at any point, but we are under lockdown, and you will abide by this station's law.
Well,
What are you
because
going to do?
sorry, go ahead.
He goes, what are you going to do about the breach of protocol? Someone screwing over the timeline. Like, literally, the Saber class is not supposed to come out till another 10 years.
That has nothing to do with us right now. We're just discussing you. And as for the lockdown, we can wait. That's fine. But you're not going to be able to practice medicine in that 24 hours.
This is absurd. I'm going to be putting in a formal inquiry into the Starfleet medical logs that you have prevented me from saving a lot of people. Thank you very much.
Agent Grimm just shakes his head and says, "We're not stopping you guys from doing anything. You continue on your investigation, but Mr. Braxton here is going to be restrained to quarters until the lockdown's over."
I hope you have proper lockdown protocols for my chief medical officer to be undergoing this horrendous accusation. As far as I'm concerned, on my station, this person right here is my chief officer of medical technology. This person right here needs to be with me at all times.
Well, this station is 2,500 people. If you can't find another medical officer that can replace him, well, then maybe you should be under investigation as well.
Or just maybe I'll get the other captain who likes to make sure things are clean, come up here and make sure you are doing the official Starfleet regulations per protocol. How do we know you aren't infiltrators?
Well, we can have you guys scan us and investigate us and interrogate us all you want. That's your prerogative. But our prerogative is dealing with the timeline and any kind of time travel. And Dr. Braxton, Mr. Damien Braxton, I hate to say it, but you are a time traveler. And when you spoke about it earlier, we were alerted by members of your own crew. And that is why we came before the lockdown was in effect. And we are here to place you in detainment. And if you resist that, then you will be under formal charges.
I see. Security, escort these guests that we have to quarters.
They just like look at each other like, what was that? And then two guards walk in, and the two guards kind of look confused. They look to the captain like for verification, and one of them says, "Do you want us to confine them to quarters, sir, or are we just escorting them to their temporary quarters where they're to be where they are free to leave whenever they want?"
Temporary quarters, under guard.
The two men stand up and they're like, "Well, we're outnumbered here, but rest assured, this will not stand. We will get in touch with our superiors, and they will send the Temporal Bureau in force to ensure that the proper protocol has been conducted here." And then they turn and go with the security officers.
As they leave, I'm going to say this to them. Good luck changing my dialogue. I am Starfleet all the way.
and they don't
Yeah.
respond. They just go. All right, and we'll say over here is temporary quarters. All right, so
Braxton's thinking his Braxton's thinking in his head, I'm glad Janeway did what she did in the future.
I don't.
Get rid of that.
What did she do? Oh no, they're not Section 31. They're a whole different thing. Temporal Bureau of
Oh,
Investigation. Yeah, they're like the civilian. They're civilians. They're not even part of Starfleet. They're basically they just make sure that no bad things are happening to the timeline. Um,
The
and
civilian. I got it. The civilian Men in Black.
yeah, basically.
and Braxton's actually telling him there is something wrong with the timeline already, and it's like, no, we aren't listening to that.
Yeah. Well, they don't seem to understand what you're saying when it comes to that. Clearly, they're not here for that. They're here for something that Braxton did or said. But
He goes, Captain, I'm insignificant to the literal problem of that ship being the problem.
I agree.
That ship is not supposed to come out until the 70s, until 10 more years.
My character go, permission to speak.
well, you're in sick bay. You're not with them. But I was gonna
Oh,
jump. I was gonna
okay.
jump to sick bay next to see what you were doing. So if you want to do that, we can.
Yeah.
Because Admiral or Captain
Yeah.
Sadie was gonna ask Arjun Turan. She's gonna say, uh, "Would you be so kind as to speak to this Romulan? I'm not sure if I should call her infiltrator or senator or what, but if you could speak with her and with the Betazoid present, that should help. Just try to gain some trust and see why exactly she's here and how she got here, and because right now we're kind of at a loss. We we know she's telling the truth, but we just don't know why she's telling us.
Understood. I'll talk to her.
Okay. So you approach her. She's just sitting there, kind of staring off at a wall, not really paying attention.
I'm glad to see you're doing okay.
She looks over and gives like a half smile, which is weird because she looks like a Vulcan, and she just kind of shrugs and says, "Oh, trust me, I've been in worse places. I was the aide to Vice Chairman of the Tal Shiar, Mr. Vrenak. So suffice it to say, I've experienced my fair share of suffering."
Yeah, I'm sure you have stories.
And what is your job here exactly?
I'm the chief science officer, and apparently I save stranded Romulans.
She chuckles and she gives you like an actual like sincere heartfelt look, and she says, "I do apologize for trying to fool you. That wasn't my original plan, but when I realized that there was the only way to get to safety was to pretend to be a Vulcan, I pretty much had to go through with it."
I figured you had your reasons. I assumed you were on the run from somebody because if that was a computer virus, that's one heck of a virus.
Yeah, the Tal Shiar attacked it, and it's an old shuttle, so it didn't withstand it too well. It's honestly thanks to Vordavor that I got into Federation space at all.
I know you haven't exactly been well received, but I would like to think what you're doing for the Federation.
She smiles again and nods, and she says, "Yeah, the Scimitar is a vicious-looking ship, and my people, they've been using the Remans as slaves to build it for decades, and they're planning on launching it to attack Earth within the next 2 or 3 years. So I can't really sit by and there are senators and others, Romulan soldiers and everyone who kind of agree with these sentiments as well, but none of them are, you know, with the Tal Shiar breathing down their back, they're not exactly jumping at the bit, at the bit to get out there and warn anybody.
Well, the Tel Shiar are not exactly known for creating a warm, open environment.
That is true. Thankfully, I did have somebody help me. I don't know if you know of him, a man named Spock.
I've heard of him. I doubt there's many Federation citizens that haven't.
I see. Yeah, it's hard to know what Federation knows and what they don't know. Being a Romulan, we're taught at a very young age that the Federation's ignorant and they don't know anything, and they don't know their own leaders, and they're just So I had no way of knowing if you knew him or not.
Well, that may not be wrong for every Federation citizen, but most are quite intelligent.
I see. And we'll say that the Betazoid kind of walks up to you and just nods, indicating that she's being genuine, and then heads over to the Captain Sadie. Is there anything else that you want to say to her or ask her before before Captain Strong and Dr. Braxton enter?
No.
Okay. All right. So you guys, Strong and Braxton, you guys get back to sickbay. The Chief Security Officer, Lieutenant Commander Steele, kind of steps out of the way, nods to both of you as you enter, and then Captain.
Because
Go ahead.
I can't believe them two. They have the heart to say I'm a problem. I mean, clearly the prime directive, temporal prime directive, has been broken because somebody came back to the past to actually give blueprints to the Romulans to make it quicker than expected.
Captain Sadie puts her hands up and says, "Hold on. Somebody came to the past and gave the Romulans future technology? Is that what you're saying?"
I'm assuming that already, because there's no way they were able to build that so quickly, so fast, under the suspicions.
Captain, I agree full-heartedly. My chief medical officer never has let me down for the past 4 months.
Well, Captain Sadie says, there is another option here. It is possible that the original plans were to have the Scimitar launched in 2365, but something happened that postponed it till much later. She kind of looks over to Braxton and says, "Is it at all possible that that's the case instead of what you're suggesting?"
No, I know 100%. They had to post. They launched it in the 70s.
I understand what you know, but I'm just saying that's your perspective. What if their original intent was to launch it in 2365, but they only got around to launching it in the 2370s because of something, let's say, for example, that we did here today? Kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy or a paradox, if you will.
I would have known about it, but yeah, if something did happen in the 2365, then
Well, Mr. Tehran, if you'd come over and join us, do you get any inclination that this Romulan Dizedra knows about any time travel, or what is your gauge on her? You there, Derlot? Oh, we got a bunch of AFK people. I think everyone's AFK except you.
No, I'm not AFK.
Okay.
I had my hands wet.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, basically she's asking if your character thinks that the Zedra knows about any time travel, or if she just believes that, like she said, they were just building this ship What is your character think?
She gave no indication of the possibility of time travel. She just knows there's a segment of her government that wants war, and she does not.
And
Hmm.
Natasha is always secret about blueprints of their blueprints
Either
and how
way,
they.
Sadie says either way we have to do something about this. The temporal prime directive doesn't mean anything to the Romulans, even if they did get these blueprints from the future. She gestures for the Lieutenant Commander Steele to come over, and she says, "What if we put together a team to go back behind enemy lines and destroy this ship before it's completed?"
Hmm. Does Braxton?
I would chime in and say we would need a captain.
Indeed.
Would Braxton know anything about this ship?
About the scimitar?
Yeah.
I mean, he would just know the basics, about how it attacked um,
Yeah.
the Enterprise E and then was destroyed and blah blah blah. The basics, but nothing specific like you know.
Anything about the warp drive?
Um, I mean, it's probably a typical singularity drive like most Romulan ships have. But you would also, I will also clarify and stress that your character would know that in the future, when it was built and attacked Captain Picard and his ship, that the reports did say that it had been built by Riemann slaves over a long period of time, and that then when Shenzon took over, they basically revolted and took over the ship and used it as their flagship. So it does seem like the events are the same, but it's just the time is off.
Uh,
Braxton,
mm, yes.
a possibility that I came to my mind. Is it possible that your being here changed the timeline, and that's why the ship is being built early?
Or maybe. Hmm. That's the problem. I was sent back in time by accident because of certain events that happen, and I'm not going to get into detail with that. Um, but yeah, there's certain events that sent me back, not due to my own fault. It was due to events that happened. But wait, he rethinks and he goes, "That ship must have." He goes, "Wait, Captain, you said you want to stop that ship from launching, right?"
Of course,
Yes.
I would assume all of us want that. Sadie says.
But I think I know a way to around it that I can actually send myself back into the future as well.
They look very confused and surprised, and then the lieutenant commander, the security chief, says, "Excuse me, wait. Maybe I'm late to the conversation, but you're from the future."
Yeah, hear me out. A lot of stuff happened to in one major event that happened in the future
Mhm.
that if I can redo like partial some of that, I can probably get myself to be sent back into the future, or maybe further in the past. I don't know.
She
Scientifically, what the hell are you talking about? The security chief says. He's like, he looks over to the science officer. He's like, is what Braxton's saying remotely possible? Does it make sense to you?
Could you repeat it?
Basically, the ship runs on singularity, And Romulans are known to, aka, put singularities into weapons of mass destruction. Say if we set off a chain reaction with that singularity warp core, and you are somehow able to fly through that singularity, I could end up in some sort of future or past.
Yes, that is possible.
Because I know the theory has worked before, but it has to be under strict circumstances.
It would be as much luck anything else if it worked, and even
Yeah,
luckier if you made it to the time you were after.
yeah. Uh, because it happened to me in the year that it happened. It was sheer luck that I ended up here. But if I try it again, I'm trying to hit a needle in a haystack, per se.
More like a needle in the galaxy.
Yeah,
Lieutenant Commander Steele says, "Well, all right. So we can figure out how to destroy it. We can figure out how to send you back to the future, but how do we do it without the Romulans not getting wind that it's Starfleet and then going to war with the Federation?"
mm, the guises of under
What about the Klingons?
Romulans,
Or the
Klingons.
Klingons?
Yeah,
The Klingons have been
Klingons.
raiding this area of space for decades. We could just have, I mean, and they hate, notoriously hate the Romulans. We could just give them the information they need, a location to bomb, and then, or you could, and this is Lieutenant Commander Steele speaking. He says, maybe they could smuggle you in behind Romulan territory, and then you can go through with this little science experiment. Then they could blow it up on the
Yeah.
way out.
And I can give the agents a theory on how to somehow start time traveling, sending people back to their own timeline. See if they can actually start the experiments to actually get a ship working on that front.
Captain Sadie just inhales deeply and shakes her head and says, "This is all so far-fetched. My
Trust
goal
me, Ken.
is to make sure that the Federation lasts, and sending you into the future does not guarantee that."
I,
Captain.
I and also there's no guarantee it would work at all. You're just as likely to be crushed into oblivion than you are to be sent anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll take my chances.
uh, Captain Sadie says, "You really don't like it here that much?"
Captain, I am. There's two agents on this station that want to take me back to Earth to either court martial me or make me retire. So it's either I jump back to my own timeline or I end up in prison
Yeah,
or in
man,
civilian jail.
I would take certain death over a lifetime of prison.
Yeah,
Captain Sadie looks over to Captain Strong and says, "What do you think about this plan, Captain?"
Timelines are just a matter of perspective. Um, Honestly, I really hope that my chief medical officer doesn't die, but if it's for the good of the people, then maybe.
Okay, so I guess we need to figure out. Number one, we need to get the Klingons this information without them. If they know it comes from us, they might just ignore it, or they might think it's a trap. So I say we get the Romulan here, Dezidra, to kind of maybe accidentally, quote unquote, fly her ship into Klingon space with this information in their in the computer, and then they'll probably interrogate her. But at least they'll do something about it. We can't really do much about it, being Starfleet and all.
Or we shoot the ship into Klingon space with the information, with no one on board.
Yeah, but they might still think that's a trap. The Klingons generally think everyone's trying to is out to get them. So
I volunteer myself to lead an away mission. Chief Medical
Well,
Officer, will you be with me? Chief Science Officer, will you be with me?
I'll volunteer to go on the mission.
Yeah, I'll be with you, sir.
and Lieutenant Commander Steele says, "What the hell? You're definitely going to need a security officer on this. I'll go too."
I look at him like, you think?
All right. All right. So you guys are going to be on the shuttle. You're going to go into now. Do you guys want to make up yourself? Well, I'll say this in character. Captain Sadie says, "Should you guys make yourself look like Klingons or Romulans or something other than humans?" Trill.
I'm a
Hmm.
troll.
Basically,
We should look like Klingons. All of us.
Because if you go in there looking like Starfleet officers, they're just gonna think it's a Starfleet officer trick.
Right.
So
he goes and grabs some 90s gear. Uh looking no, he's gonna get a fancy suit from the 20th century and looking kind of neat and presentable with a sort of thick Irish accent, trying to get that thick Irish accent on. Just trust me, it's much easier to I'll play the part.
what part is he trying to play?
Oh, he's gonna fool them that he hates the Federation with a passion.
Oh, so he like a pirate.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Hey, that might work. Yeah, you guys could be like in the Orion Crime Syndicate or something.
yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
And we got a new crew person who's Romulan,
Or
who
Vulcan.
just
Yeah.
basically Vulcan.
All
He
right.
goes, "You play the part as a Vulcan, you'll be perfectly fine." Okay.
She just says, okay, but I don't want to die. Like I would have went to Klingon space originally if I didn't care, but I want to live, so I came to Federation space. So I still don't want to die.
Don't worry, we'll be coming with you.
All right. So, what do you guys do about the time agents that you have locked in the quarters?
So-
Captain, what?
So, as captain, what I would do is have them continuously monitored and scanned, but I would go over to their quarters and be like, do you find your domicile adequate?
They just look at you like Agent Grimm says. We do find it adequate. We just are surprised that you're keeping us here when we're just here trying to do our job.
No, you weren't trying to just do your job. You were trying to take my chief medical officer away.
Well, you see it how you want to see it. We're just gonna wait here for our people to arrive.
That's fine and dandy, but I would like some information from you.
What would you like to know?
Could I roll for it?
Are are you trying to how what are you trying to figure out? Like, it, what's the information?
What their actual mission is
Oh, okay.
versus what they're telling me.
I mean, yeah, sure. Insight, command, difficulty one.
Difficulty what?
One. So you just need one success.
A 4 and a 7.
Alright, y'all get a momentum. And as far as you can tell by their facial expressions and their body language and everything like that, they're telling the truth. As far as they're concerned, they're just here because Braxton breached the Temporal Prime Directive, and they're here to take him and make him resign.
Could I ask them, like, really what they're here for? To try to take my medical officer away?
Yep, and they will tell you that exact same thing.
Alright.
Anything
Braxton
else?
would.
Oh, go ahead.
Braxton, while he's doing that, the captain's doing that. Braxton would hide in some notes that, um, when when the temporal agents do come to looking through his records,
Right.
they can find that he's going to write up the recipe to possibly time travel so they can send people back to the future.
Okay. That's
So
that's gonna be a reason science difficulty 8.
no, he's putting in a
no
theory.
way you're gonna be able to convey to them how to travel through time and then be able to successfully replicate it. It's just not gonna happen. Even if you were
He's
a
gonna say
scientist.
he's gonna give a theory on maybe a singularity could help or maybe not.
Right. I mean, yeah, theories are great, but unless someone's willing to try it, like you're about to do, it's really just a way to commit suicide. So,
Yeah.
they're not going to go along with your plan. They're just going to be like, okay, if he made it, great. That's a fluke. It probably won't happen again. If he didn't make it, he's dead, and that's probably what will happen to anyone that we send it through. So that you can give it
Yep.
to them, but they're probably not going to do a whole lot with it. Remember, this is
Yeah.
2363. They don't have that kind of technology yet.
Yeah.
So whatever you do to change that, they're gonna do something to not change it, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you giving them that, there may be some kind of thing down the road that helps or whatever. But for the moment, they're just gonna be like, okay, whatever. We'll store that in his personal file, and then later down the road, maybe someone will look at it. Is there anything else that y'all want to do in sickbay?
Yeah.
No? Alright. So I'm gonna jump ahead real quick because I honestly did not expect this, and that's awesome. I'm gonna jump ahead to the mission that you guys are undertaking. This definitely dangerous mission into Klingon space. You are on the Vulcan. Oops, wrong shuttlecraft. You are on the Vulcan shuttlecraft with the Romulan. Let's see, Arjun, Tehran, Lieutenant Commander Steele, Braxton, obviously, and Captain Strong. All of you are quote-unquote pirates. And you get into Klingon space, and even if you guys fail at anything, they're still gonna find the evidence of this big weapon in your computer banks. Like, even if they killed you all, they would still find it. So you don't have to roll for any of that. They do find it,
Yeah.
and they immediately launch like a 15 ship armada to destroy that ship inside of Romulan space. Um, so now we just got to figure out, does your character actually, with them, go through this supposed time portal and get back to, get anywhere. Actually, you know what, Mac, pull up the GM emulator let's see how. It's gonna be a roll, but it's also gonna be a just random because you have no way of knowing.
A D100 roll.
Now Mac has to get the GM emulator. Mac, let me know when you got it, or I can grab it. I always have
Can you
everything.
grab it?
Yeah, I've got everything in
And
bookmarks. I'll post it in the thingy for y'all if you want to look at it. But um, I'm gonna say chaos is was 7 because you're basically just doing the craziest shit ever. And I'm gonna say the odds of you
yeah,
actually going through. Um, well, actually, let's do the roll first. So it's got to be a science roll, and I'll let Arjun, Tehran, I'll let you assist, and you guys can decide if it's control, reason. Basically, you could pick any of the attributes. Doesn't really matter. You just have to be able to justify it. So if you pick daring, you have to be like, well, why is it daring? But
inside.
insight's fine.
Uh, quantum mechanics wouldn't apply, would it?
Oh yeah, this is absolutely the time it would apply. Um,
Yes, I'm totally going with the quantum mechanics.
you have quantum mechanics too?
Yeah,
Nice. All
because
right.
he had
Yep. So,
like a mini universe in his pocket for
oh
some
yeah,
time.
that's right. I forgot about that. So yeah, the difficulty it's gonna be a science roll. The difficulty is gonna be 5. The complication range is gonna be 5.
Okay.
You have 2
Um.
momentum, and you can also give me threat.
Basically, he's gonna use a determination.
Okay.
He
Probably the
likes the
best option.
challenge. Yeah, he likes the challenge,
Okay.
and this is gonna be a challenge for him.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And
Are
how
you?
many momentum there is?
You have 2. I recommend using all of it.
I'm gonna use momentum.
Okay. So 2, 3,
Oh
4,
damn
5,
it!
6, 7. So you got 7 successes, which gives you 2 momentum back. Do you want to use it to get rid of that complication?
Yes, please.
Okay, then you succeed. Good thing you did that. Now you have to roll. Um, and it's going to be. So
Chaos 7.
you have the time travel right. You did the science right. The chaos level is still 7. Even though you have the time travel right, there's no way you go back to the exact same time that you left. So just click no way and then type and then ask the question. Do you go back to 23? What was it? 2391, 2393, whatever the day, whatever the year is that you
23.
left. Yeah, and then
2392.
okay. Either way, just click ask a question and let me know what it is, and let me know if it's
No.
okay. So now we got to figure out a year. Um, I actually have. Oh God, where is it? Please tell me I have it here somewhere. I have the list of years everywhere. I have it here
Mind
somewhere.
you, mind you, he would have been putting a step by step on his science thing. So if
What
it worked, you can find out.
What do you mean step by step?
Uh, just in case, like if it worked or not. If it doesn't work, then they can scrap it.
Oh no, it's time travel-y. Like you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
So you just this is to determine what year you're going to, because you won't know until after you get there. Is this
Mm.
season 5? Oh, this is season 5. I'm like, why am I looking at season 5? All right, hold on. It might take a second. It's season 4, I think, is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, season 4.
I have so many freaking notebooks. Season 4 has the most notebooks. Ugh. Hold on, let me.
Because you had to rewrite majority of it because of
Yeah,
us changing a lot of things.
yeah, that's true. All right, let's see where it might not even. Oh wait, I think this is actually it. Hold on. No. Bloody hell. Alright, so that's not it.
I think it was a, I think it was a D30 I had to roll.
Either way, no matter what you have to roll, I have somewhere around here the list of the years, the decades and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone had to roll for
Uh,
it. I just don't know where it is. I the funny part is I recently, like last week, I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, and now I can't find it. I didn't know I was gonna have to do it because I didn't know you were gonna go back and through time. That's not
yeah.
it. It's probably here somewhere though. Normally I don't make players wait for me to look for stuff, but we're almost done, so it's fine. And it'll be cool if your characters can actually go. Actually, do the same thing, Chaos Level 7, and ask the GM emulator if your characters somehow, like the other characters somehow go with you, and just say 50-50.
Gosh, I hope it happens.
Probably
No.
not. Oh, okay.
Damn.
That's okay. I'm sure we'll come across you guys somewhere one day.
Or if you do want to choose to go with him, you can. I'm not gonna
I mean, yeah,
force his.
but I don't think that. I think the whole point was to send you back and then go back to work. Basically,
Yeah.
I don't think their characters would intentionally do that. Fuck me.
If you, like I said, I'm not gonna force you to go.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Well. Alright, so that's
Can I
all.
roll
We,
for it?
No. I mean, you can. I mean, I just don't see any Starfleet captain just deciding to go into the future to live there. I just can't see, like, realistically, I just don't see it happening. If you can, like, come up with, like, if your character was legitimately, like, hates the Federation or Starfleet or something, then maybe, but I just, especially,
Kinda.
you're
No. Here's my argument with this. I feel like my character was shoved into a space station. Like I'd fucked up. Sure, I led to many deaths, but I got pushed into a position where I was not very comfortable, and I just kind of wanted something different, and so I led to my most trusted advisor for the last 4 months, and I accepted the ability to go to her with or him with to the future. If that made any sense.
Yeah, no, it does. What about family? Your character doesn't have family?
No, more like a Picard kind of character.
Okay. I just wish I could figure out which one of these damn notebooks it would be in. Oh wait,
that's why.
I think it's probably this one actually. I gotta rearrange this damn.
And you can even do my character as like an ensign. Like I'm super young when I come back to the future or some shit. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun.
Like reincarnated.
Or just like a younger version of myself, and like I'm an acting ensign, like kind of Wesley. Shut up, Wesley.
Well, the thing about the time travel stuff is last time everyone did it, they all went into different locations. So I'm gonna ask the emulator if your character, even if he decides to go with him, if he goes to the same time or if somewhere else. If you go to another time, then you'll end up having to um, roll to see what time you end up in. Could be in the middle, Dark Ages or something. So, are you sure you want to do that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say going to the same place are very unlikely. Asking does Captain Strong go to the same time wherever. The good news is if we both go to the same place, I just got to roll for it once. And the answer is extreme yes. Okay, so you definitely do.
Yes!
And if Durlock, can you think of a reason why your character would go? Maybe because he was rejected as a trill.
He would see it as an opportunity to explore. That's how I can justify it. But however, he's convinced they're gonna die, so no, he wouldn't go.
Okay. Yeah, they probably, honestly, they probably would die, if this was more realistic. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna start asking the GM emulators to narrow it down to what timeline. It said no, right, Mac, as far as your character going to the same place or the same
Yep.
time? Okay. So is it before or after 2363? I think it's more likely to be. I think there's more time ahead than behind, because I think in Discovery they're in year 3000. So I'm gonna say, does he go before 2363? And it's gonna be very unlikely. Extreme, yes. You go back in time. You don't go forward in time. All right. So now I need. Yep, I need. Well, actually, I'm just gonna. Is it AD or BC? This will make it easy. 50-50. Is it AD? Yes, it's AD. So now I need someone to roll a D2362, if that makes any sense, to see what year you end up in.
I could roll a d20.
That won't help. Mac, you want to roll for it?
What was it?
The year that you're in, 2362, because it's got to be in the past.
523.
Let's see what happens in 523 AD. Talk about temporal prime directive manipulating. All right.
Hey, you rolled for me. You won't let me roll the GM emulator.
That's because it took so long. And that's
You didn't tell me what KO the odds.
I did. You just took so long. Okay, so yeah, you're basically the Roman Empire. That's where you guys are gonna be, basically. So good luck with that.
Oh, damn it.
Oh my god.
Fantastic.
And I also just thought, so there was something I was planning on actually doing, and so there was in the original series, there was an episode where they had based their entire culture on the Roman Empire if the Romans had never discovered Christianity, which it just became the gladiators and everything, and their version of TV was gladiators and everything. So now what I'm probably going to do is do the same thing but further in the future. So they're basically, when you go back to the Romans, something's going to happen, and they're basically going to develop their culture based on something that you guys do or don't do, and then there'll be a whole other timeline with evil Romans ruling the earth.
Can we actually develop the Romans into the future?
That's what I was saying. Yeah. 520.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we can't
make it
do
so
that.
timeline.
There's a big reason why we can't do that.
Yeah,
It's called the temporal prime directive.
It doesn't exist no more.
That's so funny. Yeah.
And then basically, there's no federation at this point, so that means we're on the evil side of the mirror universe.
And you know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna see if the Romulan goes through, just for the hell of it, because she has nothing to live for anymore. So
50-50, come on, man, 50-50.
Chaos level 7.
And we play
I'm still gonna say very unlikely, just because, like she said before, she doesn't want to die. She does go through, and an event.
Yes!
Event occurs. NPC action. She's an NPC. Adversity art. Adversity. What is it? Adversity means trouble, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Difficulties, misfortune, resilience in the face of adversity, and then art. Adversity. Here's what I'm thinking. I think she goes back in time with you. The Romans think she's like one of their gods because of her like pointed ears and everything. And then they just like throughout history, you guys just see Vulcans and Romulans in like stained glass windows and like paintings and tapestries, and she ends up being venerated
Uh,
as some goddess or something.
I find it very funny that because we appeared beside her, that we actually get mistaken as
As
gods
god, yeah,
instead of
because you guys appeared. Yeah, you guys all appeared at the same time.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, appeared out of nowhere.
let
They're
me.
like there are gods.
Is there a Roman god with pointed ears? Pan. Oh, of course. It's basically the Dionysus, but that's like a freaking satyr or something.
Satyr,
Satyr.
yes.
That's what that is. Who's Janus? Maybe Janus. What does Janus look like though? Name, theology. Don't care. Don't care. Temples, cult, appearance, relationship. Hold on. Janus, appearance. Roman. Double-faced head. Oh, I have an idea. I think when
What?
she goes through, because of how time is just weird, half of her face turns into Romulan and the other half is still Vulcan. So now she has this half of her head is like got this ridge down the side, and basically like they look at her as Janus, like, oh, that's the god of what was it? Beginnings, the god of time, the god of duality, the god of passageways, the god of ending. Yeah, so that basically just everything that's happening right now. That's basically what It makes sense.
And it fits in
Yeah.
completely with this episode.
So now,
Yeah.
who do the Romans? Well, I think at first when they see you, that they might be like a little standoffish. Like they'd be like, okay, we're not gonna. They clearly just appeared out of nowhere, so we're not gonna like attack them right now or anything. And then they see her and they're automatically like, oh wow. But who would they assume? I guess they would just assume. Let's see. Roman god that looks like Sean Connery. That's what I'm basically looking for. Because
Sean Connery.
who
That's why I cannot do the language.
Let's see. Roman gods. I guess Jupiter. Yeah, I think Jupiter probably would be the closest one. Maybe Poseidon, Neptune as Poseidon. Definitely not Mars.
Poseidon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jupiter. Because also your last name's Strong, so they probably think, oh, he's like this strong god or something. And then Braxton, your medicine. There is a god of medicine. I cannot remember what his name was. Roman god of medicine. I think it's like Apollo or something. Oh, it's of
I
course
probably think
Asclepius, of course. It,
I probably think I'm him. That's gonna be so funny.
Asclepius, god of medicine, son of Apollo, god of healing, truth, and prophecy, and the immortal something. All right, whatever. So that's basically where your story's in.
By the way,
Yeah.
if everybody else was going, my character would go too, just because he doesn't want to explain why he let everyone with him die.
Yeah, he'd probably want to try to save them, like thinking that he has to make sure that either they survive or that he saves them.
Yeah, so he would end up going too. And he's a troll, so
Yeah.
they would probably think he has tattoos because tattoos did exist back then.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
eventually they'd probably find out about your stomach pouch and be like, "What the hell, a kangaroo man?"
Right?
All right, so Roman gods with marsupial pouches. Oh wow, that's actually auto correcting in Google. Um, I don't know if I don't know why this took me here.
How about it creates a whole new mythical creature that didn't exist before?
Yeah, that's probably likely. It also says that this god appears closely related to Janus, so that would make sense since Janus was one of the people that showed up. Um, why did it? I thought I'm just trying to figure out why it gave me this as opposed to anything else. Uh, let's see. God with tattoo. Let's see if there's a god with tattoos. Nope, it's just showing me a bunch of Roman god tattoos. Spots, maybe? And of course, it's back to Janus.
How about Achilles? He had boots of wings.
What's that got to do with a trill, though?
It
Yeah, I'm
is
a true.
it is an extension, a parasite, and the guiding light between him and being a normal person. He was a normal person, and then he had wings on his shoes.
I don't know either.
I'm really high. I'm really high, so I don't know.
It's fine. We'll figure it out. I'm really tired, so yeah, I'm right there with you. I kind of want to end this, and then as far